G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game spawning in on the southeast side of the map. Playing in the colour green as the Malians. It's Trade Enjoyer 1 aka Salami. And on the west side of the map in the colour red playing as the Mongols. He's back, it's Crackety here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lipany. We're here watching Crackety here play as the Mongols. For anybody who missed the last update, Crackety here quit Age of Empires 4. He uninstalled the game because of a game that he played that you might have seen. The title of the video was the best game of Age of Empires 4 you will ever see, and I stand by that claim. I think that was an absolutely amazing game where unfortunately Crackety lost. He didn't think it was the best game of the year. He thought it was the worst game of the year. So subsequently he uninstalled the game and he undertook to never play the game again. Now, he lost against the Mongols, and he was of the opinion that Mongols was completely broken, and so somebody set a goal. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Crackety is also a caster over on EGC TV, and they set a goal. They said, all right, if there's 400 subs that happen this weekend, Crackety, he's going to rejoin the ladder, but he's only going to play Mongols. So that's what happened. And anyway, Crackety has rejoined the ladder, and he's only playing Mongols, and he's looking to exploit the most overpowered, broken parts of the Mongols possible. Now, I guess for me, when I think about overpowered Mongol things, I'm thinking like maybe trade is really good. The Mangadai is nice if you can get a good raid off or something like that. You know, Imperial Age, getting all those cannon emplacements are really nice. I'm curious whether he goes for that, because the problem was, last time we watched him play, he played against Beastie, obviously Beastie, one of the best in the world. And he went for three TC Mongol, and he had like all the TCs in one little spot. And I'm like, Crackety, this ain't it, Chief. Like, whatever you think is broken about the Mongols, this is not it, okay? This is not it. You're the equivalent of like, I don't know, like an Ottoman player just building only metas and being like, yeah, this is gonna do it. Like, go little drummer boys, you can do it. Like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Anyway, we got the age up starting to come through. Of course, our Trade Enjoyer, aka Salami, not going to be going for the trading landmark, just going to be going with the Malians Quarry here, which is kind of standard. You know, we saw Salami pioneer, even popularize this type of play, which I guess you could call it as like a flexible Malian opening, where you can go for the trade landmark and then just don't play trade, or you can go for the Malians Quarry and then play trade, because there's a number of reasons why the landmark can benefit you. Obviously, you get a higher amount of gold trickling in, so it means that you're going to have access to certain upgrades. It also just helps you out with your helps you out with any traders that you want to be making. And speaking of trade, I mean, we've got trading posts in relatively close to the corner of the map here, and this is pretty important. Now, obviously, Salami would have scouted that his enemy's trade is over here. He would have scouted that his own trade, it's not visible, so he would have to deduce that it's in this last part, which is pretty good trade, because sometimes it doesn't spawn there. Sometimes it spawns in the middle, and you don't get the most optimal trade coming through. 3 minutes and 22. What an age up. What an early age up coming through from Salami. That's got to be a record, right? I wonder what's the record age up. It'd have to be the Chinese, because they can build a landmark the fastest. But I think you'd have to caveat and say, like, what's the fastest age up in a pro game, right? Because anybody can just be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, only gets off one round of shots. Anybody can just, you know, play the Chinese and collect 400 food and 200 gold and then just build a Barbican in the middle of their base and be like, yeah, look, Drongai did it in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Like, yeah, good job. What are you going to do with the Barbican in the middle of your base and you don't have any villagers? So it's one of those things where it's like, there needs to be that caveat. But 3 minutes 20, I think it was 3:22, is pretty damn quick. So I'm going to set that as our world record, and we'll keep it there. I'm going to start taking notes on world record timings and see whether we have any contenders, because that is a damn quick age up. But over on the other side of the map, Crackety just going to be going with the deer stones. Now, we saw him do this in the previous game that we casted him, not the previous game, because I can tell you what, I've been casting some more games since then. But I've been looking forward to seeing how Crackety is developing, because obviously, before this, Crackety was a big fan of the Chinese, big fan of the Delhi, played a lot of different civilizations, never really touched the Mongols. So now he's getting his feet wet with the Mongols, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a fan of Crackety. It's an exciting time to be playing Age of Empires, because I feel like the meta's in a really good spot at the moment. All right, what we see on the other side of the map, though, Crackety spots out Salami's stable, so it looks like it's probably going to be professional scouts at the very least. because we've got a mill that's coming up right next to it. And this is a really popular opening at the moment. It seems like a lot of people are going towards this, and people are very heavily relying on the scouts. And we can see, speaking of scouts, the scouts making their way out. Khan. Oh no, the Khan. That's a dead end, Khan. You don't want to go that way. Khan getting caught out of position. 2 scouts going to be able to chase him back. We're right on board with Crackety, though, as he looks well and truly like is he heading for this same strategy again? Crackety, are you seriously going for the same strategy again right now? Crackety, this is not going to work, Crackety. This will never work, Crack. Who is this guy, and what have you done with Crackety? I just don't understand, right? Like, Mongols have got so many good things going for them. And, oh, it's hold on. It's double broadaxe improved. He put this on the Uvu. So this, for anybody wondering, the improved version of double broadaxe, instead of giving 15% of a flat bonus, comes in and tries to get the snipe off Town Center. Manages to get it. He takes out one of the warrior scouts. So he's going to be looking to deny these deer. I like the fact that the Khan stayed alive as well. So what's Crackety doing? So for anybody wondering, so a standard upgrade, if you're thinking like double broadaxe, horticulture, specialized pick, any of these standard upgrades are 15%, right? But then you can upgrade, or you can buff up that upgrade through the Uvu using the improvement. So right here, you have to pay a bit of stone for it, but you can see the upgrade that he's picked up, instead of doing 15%, does 22.5%. So it's an extra 7.5%. So not too bad, not too bad. But what's interesting to me is we saw him go for a second town center last time, and he also went into a third town center after that. How does the Malians look to counter that? Obviously, for me, the big answer is trade, right? Like, our Mongol player is just kind of sitting here. He's not really doing too much. He's going 3 TCs. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like these town centers look like UFOs. You know, like, not your standard UFO, not like the cigar shape, not like the, not what are they called? Like the Tic Tacs, not that. I'm talking like 1950s, straight out of the, straight out of a newspaper. Like that's what I'm talking about. They get that UFO look to me. I don't know. Am I crazy? Anybody else see that? Maybe it's just me. Anyway, we're right on board with Salami now, as he looks to try and take down this Khan. I think he might be successful here. Keep in mind, there's a bit of a speed difference here between these two. These warrior scouts are as fast as a horseman, and indeed that Khan does go down. Surely with that, good game will be called any second. Over on the other side of the map, though, we do see professional scouts is not coming through. So not opting to go professional scouts, instead just going into mass scouts. And look at this, following it up with a huge amount of cattle in the back. Remember, these guys got their price reduced. It's just going to be rallying them towards the town center, and we can see behind this, it doesn't look like any plans for a castle age, at least at this point. Upgrades are coming through. Wheelbarrow, double broadaxe, horticulture, and specialized pick now going to be coming through, and a lot of vills moving out. And Crackety once again going to be going for this 3 TC. Crackety, this is never going to work. Stop it, Crackety. Stop it right now. But in all seriousness, this could actually work. I think the interesting thing for me is watching him go up against Salami. For anybody, I mean, you guys are all familiar with Salami, right? Like one of the world's best players, incredibly talented, consistently, I think, sitting in the top 10, at least at the moment, on the ladders, doing quite well. Didn't make it to Wallalol, unfortunately. But really nice pressure coming out. And I like the fact that he's brought the town center out here as well, because the town center is going to be able to cover this Uvu. So with that, you can see that Crackety's built himself a nice little base. 28 villagers on food at the moment. He is a hungry boy, that is for sure. A lot of sheep in here, but no pastures whatsoever. And just a very passive playstyle. I feel like I'm almost watching an English game. Is the Mongols the new English? You know, they say orange is the new black. Is Mongols the new English? It could be. It could be. Over on the other side of the map, though, we're right on board with our Malian hero. As we see more production buildings going to be going down. Double archery range, so could be looking for javelin throwers. Could be an option. Could just be going into mass archers, but once again, no sign of a castle age at this point. Interestingly, the only economic bonus that he's really looking to go into is just these 2 pit mines. That's pretty much it. Nothing else too crazy. And look at the warrior scouts, man. This is kind of wild, the fact that he's going so heavy on the warrior scouts. Do we see? Has he gone? He hasn't gone into professional scouts. He can afford it, well and truly. And he's got more than enough scouts where he could just come through and snipe out these deer without any problems whatsoever. So it's very curious to me that he's not going into that. Crackety, though, going to be under pressure. Warrior Scout's going to be moving underneath the town center. Khan going to be here to looking to repel it as well. And obviously, no walls going to be coming up for Crackety. Keep in mind, you can turtle all you like, sir, but you're not going to be building any walls. Not as a Mongol player. Not as a Mongol player. Other upgrades coming through for Crackety? Nothing at the moment. No wheelbarrow. No sign of anything like that. And still, He's going to be moving into +1, so it is going to be an archer mass that we see. So interesting composition coming out here from Salami. I don't think I've seen this composition before. So obviously warrior scouts are a little bit interesting. The main reason why this unit is so intriguing to me is just because of the high regen rate that it's got. And we'll switch it over now so you guys can see the income per minute coming through. But the big thing for this unit is the regen rate that it enjoys. Most scouts, they regen at like 1 health every second. But the warrior scout, I think it's like 5 health. It might even be, I think it's 6 health a second. It's ludicrous. It is absolutely crazy how much these guys are able to heal up. So they can take damage and subsequently heal that back up really, really quickly. They obviously have a nice line of sight. Plenty of speed as well, 1.88 movement speed. Fast as a horseman. Not the most damage though, that's one thing to note. Only 7 damage, but they do get bonus damage against siege, which is really nice. Obviously a horseman gets bonus damage against ranged units, but if your enemy's not making any ranged units, the difference between a horseman and a warrior scout isn't a whole lot. Not a lot of difference on the health side of things either. But we're right on board with Crackety as he goes into triple archery range. Crackety putting a whole bunch of units inside. Oh my god, Crackety's up to 18 archers. When did you make those, Crackety? When I wasn't looking, that's for sure. That is a lot of archers. So he's going to keep the archers inside the town centers. This is an interesting... We are seeing a Mongol turtle. I don't think I ever expected to see a Mongol turtle strategy like this. This is kind of wild. This is very, very wild. I like the arrow going off at the last second, like, with my last dying wish. Speed for all! And he just dies. All right, well, it's an interesting strategy coming out. You know, I did say earlier on this will never work. It's at this point, I'd like to take that back. I'm just noticing the villager count, right? And it doesn't really... 28 warrior scouts? What is going on with... What is Salami doing? Why do you have so many warrior scouts? I mean, the warrior scouts are going to be very effective against the enemy archers, but at the end of the day, it's like... all right, let's see how it goes. But I guess the point is that this economic lead is building very quickly for Crackety. And when it comes to the Malians, they're not really enjoying that many Malian or that many economic bonuses. I'm sure they're getting a lot of Malian bonuses. But now we do see on the north side, Crackety obviously wants to gain access to gold. He's got a gold vein, but it's a little bit too far away. He doesn't want to move any town centers. He could obviously move this one down a little bit closer and guard that gold, but instead just says, well, we're just going to move up over here. We only need 5 vills on gold. We're just working towards a castle age in 3, 4, 5 minutes, somewhere around that. So we'll just leave these guys here and we'll think about them a little bit later. But now, 12 minutes into this game, with no units killed between these two, they begin to posture. And Salami looks to try and pick a fight here. Like 2 young men inside a locker room. You know, remember the school locker room and everyone's fighting in the locker room and you got the one guy that's posturing? Right now, that's that's our Malian player, Salami. Crackety's just on the defensive. He's like, hey man, I'm just trying to do my maths homework. Please, just go away. Look at the amount of wood he's already gone through. It's an insane amount of wood that he's already gathered up here. He's actually doing a pretty decent job here. And one of the things to note, right, is you might not think that this has been exciting so far, but I genuinely think this is exciting because the way I see it is that Crackety has read correctly how many units he should be making, and subsequently that has forced the Malian player to, well, not to be able to attack. But hold on a minute, you got a lot of scouts in here. This is like a landmark snipe that is happening well before it is due. Archers trying their best to defend this position. He surrounds the town center. Good night, sweet prince. We said this wasn't going to work, and you've got the first evidence for it coming out now. Javelin throwers on the backside also going to be helping out a hand. We'll enter into the cinematic mode as the town center finally does go down. And now Salami looks to try and surround these units. Town centers firing down completely. The archer's going to be able to fall back. Remember, not a lot of villagers have gone down. I think there was about a 25 villager lead, and we see the attack speed going to be going off. The Khan goes down immediately again, as in classic Khan style. And the scouts just doing a great job of sieging down. These guys are like battering rams, I guess is the best way to think about it, but just obviously not as tanky. Not as many wheels. They do have 4 legs, so that's one thing to note. So Crackety going to have to start moving his base, investing in heavily. 4 stables going to be going up. Pastures being taken out here. You can see more archers continuing to be trained. But still those javelins on the backside are just doing so much work here, able to take out enemy archers. You can see them just firing off so little health compared to the damage of the javelins. And we see more and more pastures being cleaned up. Crackety now looking to play that true Mongol style that we get so rarely able to see. He's looking to move his base. We can already see that he's heading up towards that northern position. Remember, he was also thinking about going to Castle Age. It could be that he has enough resources to do it, but I would suspect at this point he is barely struggling to make ends meet, and indeed that is the case. 9 food in the bank at the moment. Not a lot of resources left for Crackety. And look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Crackety, I mean, you've done this before. And, well, Crackety, it didn't go that well, did it, mate? You know, you played it against Beastie. Sure, he's one of the best in the world, but, I mean, maybe Crackety's just like, I've got this theory, and I think this is going to work, and he's just trying to make it work. Like, right now, you're looking like someone out of Mean Girls trying to make fetch work. It's not going to work, Crackety. Stop trying to make it work. All right. Crackety. So, let's ride on board with him. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crackety going for a 4th town center now. Crackety, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but so you've got 6 military units, Crackety. Which, by the way, anybody who's watching this at home and you want to check out Crackety, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch him. He streams live over on Twitch. Obviously a very exciting player. By the same token, you can check out Salami. I'll leave a link in the description for where you can watch him as well. But these guys, obviously 2 of the world's best players. You can always pick up a thing or 2 when you're watching their games, and definitely enjoy hanging out on Twitch. It can be fun hanging out on Twitch. So some of the guys there, you got to watch out for them. They like to breathe through their mouth. Let's just say that much. I love that insult. It's so good. It's like, what's it saying? If someone's a mouth breather, it's like your brain is underdeveloped. You're breathing through your mouth because your brain hasn't worked out yet that you can breathe through your nose. Is that what it is that what it's saying? I would like to have everybody know, and I'm not saying this to self-deprecate or anything like that. I am actually a mouth breather. So when I think I was about 15 or 16, I was playing basketball, and competitively, obviously ranked compared to the unranked version. And I got elbowed in the nose, and I got a deviated nasal septum because of it, and I've just never fixed it. And so it's really hard for me to breathe out my nose. So I just breathe out my mouth. There you go. That's a confirmation that you guys needed. Drongo is a mouth breather, and now Crackety, the mouth breather, is trying his best to hold on 4th town center. How many more town centers has this man got? We see 2 town centers, 1 town center up to the north. This one's going down by the looks of it. The archer numbers here just not the best. He's using the TC defensively. I never thought I'd see the day. Mongols town center defense is coming through. You want base defense, you want balloons. Baby, you don't need balloons. You got it right here in Age of Empires, and the turtle comes through. We never thought we'd see it. The Mongol turtle coming out. These guys don't have access to walls. They don't have access to stone walls, keeps. Only thing that they've got are town centers and outposts, and slowly but steadily, look at this villager number. Can we just check on this villager number? How many vills have gone down? 18 workers down. But Crackety up on 93 workers compared to the 57 of his opponent, and Crackety somehow managing to keep it alive. The vills actually coming out. Has he got the upgrades for the vills? 75 health on these vills. He's got textiles, doesn't have improved textiles. I think that's in Castle Age that he'll gain access to that. Look at that, the town centers hold. Oh my god, it's actually working. Crackety, you are a mouth breather. You are a genius, Crackety. You know the worst part is we're going to see this starting to take over the ladder. I can already tell you right now. I just know the next ranked game I go into, it's going to be against a Mongol player, and it's going to be against a guy who spams town centers. What is this defense? I guess the thing is, like, you can always just pick up the town centers and just move them on. And it's like, in making a town center, you're making a defensive structure, but you're also investing in your economy. So it's kind of like, it's half turtle, half boon. I was gonna say half baboon. Can you? It's half turtle, half baboon. Hold on, Marine Lord, calm down. It's half turtle, half boon. And I think that's kind of wild, right, when you think about it from that perspective, because if you're playing a normal civilization, say the English, the problem is, if battering rams come in, I lose my town center. Here, if a battering ram comes in, I laugh, I unpack my town center, and I run it away, and the battering ram can't catch it. So the only thing that you can really do is what Salami's actually doing, which is massing up scouts. The problem is, Salami's gone Castle Age. He hasn't really invested heavily in his economy, so he's not really able to scale that well. 25 worker kills so far for him would put Crackety, before 20 minutes, at 126 workers compared to 62. More than double the worker count of his enemy. And slowly but steadily, that count of military continues to rise. Look at the production back here for our Malian player. 30 scouts. 21 javelin throwers. And veterancy obviously coming through on the warrior scouts, already through for the javelin. These guys are going to be a little bit tankier now. Keep in mind the javelins have got 5 ranged armor compared to the 6, well actually 7 damage of the town centers. And all of the town centers are completely packed. We hear the Khan firing off the defensive arrow. He's looking to try and take down the town center. Now, worst case scenario, I guess he just moves the vills out of the TC and starts repairing. He's got vills on the top side repairing. You can't even see those villagers on the top side, barely there. He's going to lose this town center. He's still got 3 more to go. Look at the pastures around the town center. Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted a base defense. You have got it. They said it would never work. I don't know who they are. It definitely isn't me. They said this will never work, and Crackety is making it work. He is bringing back Fetch in this game right here. Is this it? Is this the new broken Mongol strategy? Crackety here said he would come back to the ladder with a vengeance. He would play only the Mongols, and he said he would get to rank 1. That's going to be the question, and I think we found the answer, because if Crackety, if you can make this stick, I tell you what, this is kind of bold. This is kind of exciting. Town Center obviously scooting and shooting its way out of there. Main TC, it's going to be here as well. You can see him just gutting through all the villagers, but keep in mind that the villager count is up 40, I think, for Crackety at this point in the game. So he's just going to have an absolute field day, taking out all these units. The main issue is going to have these javelin throws. You can see them soaking up the damage. Look how much damage they take. So I'd just be looking to focus down the scouts, and you can just see it right now. Crackety able to hold on. But what's the win condition though? That's the thing, right? Like, okay, you outscaled the enemy, you've killed all of their units, but how do you win the game? Do you just take all of the villages that you made and go siege down your enemy? Because something tells me that's probably not going to work. So where do you go from here? What do you do? Villagers idle. Let's take a look and see how many bills he's got. He's got 55 bills on food at the moment. And the expansion up towards the north continues. He's on 4 town centers still. I'm loving this style. I'm actually... This is kind of wild. Okay. Next patch notes, you watch. It's going to have like a nerf specifically targeted at this strategy. It's like, we reduced the speed of the Mongol town center. No, it'll be like... I'm trying to think. I don't even know how you'd nerf it. How would you nerf this strategy? There's a lot of ways, but how would you specifically target this strategy? We've nerfed Crackety here. Crackety here is no longer here. He's in fact over there. That wouldn't do it either. Oh my, Imperial coming through right now for our trade enjoyer. He's Imperial. Crackety is in feudal. Crackety, I mean, we said it before, this will never work. It still could work though. It's still, I'm not counting him out. I'm not counting him out. This strategy, this is unique. This is unique. Let's ride on board with him because the step redoubt's coming down. 7 barracks. Is he going into mass? What's he going into? Mass spears? Mass men at arms? I guess you could go mass men at arms here. But okay, so you're playing up against the Malians. You go men at arms, they just go Musafati, and then all your men at arms die. You go spears, and then what? I think spears are good here, because you go spears mango. Spear mango would be pretty decent. And you can use improved siege engineering. Does he have them? He's got the blacksmith. Go into siege engineering improved. This is the right call. This is definitely the right call. I like this. So he masses up spears here? What is this strategy? I don't think I ever expected to see something like this out of Crackety be successful. I know it was a bit of a meme initially, but now I'm starting to look at it and I'm like, I could see myself doing something like this. This is kind of wild. And now Crackety might get scouted out here as Salami begins moving a scout on that top side of the map. Spots out the deer stones. I'm surprised we haven't seen Crackety really pull back towards that top side. Definitely be a nice little bit safer. Town center falls back immediately. Look how quick that town center is, by the way. 1.29 movement speed. He pulls back all the town centers. He says, we're moving to a new area. And there's the spears coming in. These spears are hardened. Veterancy comes through right then. Beautiful timing on that. Lots of javelins on the backside. Remember, these javelins don't get bonus damage against any of the spears, but they do just have a very high base damage output. The elite warrior scouts are through. These guys have got their elite upgrades. Is he burning down the main town center? That's the main TC. He's caught it, but he's completely surrounded. Villagers, together with spears, just going to be able to eat this part alive. We can see right there, 17 spears, 52 vills. He's lost 57 villagers this game, but still maintains a 40 villager lead. He doesn't care how many vills get taken out. Now the spear's going to be looking to surround the enemy. He's got the Yam network, which is going to be buffing up the movement speed. 1.44 movement speed. There's no way these javelin throwers are ever going to be able to escape the spears of the spearmen. And now he's looking to repair that town center. Is that what we've got? I think he's repairing that TC. Spearmen just flooding through. Look at the spearmen numbers. Absolutely crazy the amount of spears he's got coming out right now. So this is going to mean that we start seeing archers coming out from the Malians. Surely, when you see this many spears on the field, you've got to be going into archers. But we take a look at the units that are being made right now for the Malians. It's only Sofa. Sofa are all the only units that are being made. Excuse me, Salami. I'm not sure if you've worked this one out yet, but your enemy's making full spears. This is where it starts to get hard, right? Spearmen are really good. And look, I don't want to say that there's a nerf incoming, but there should be a nerf incoming. These things are crazy. Don't mess with spears. Spears are crazy in the current meta. Just because I think the reason spears are so good is because cavalry is so powerful, and so naturally being able to counter cavalry and shut that down means that your enemy doesn't really want to go for it. And if they want to, they have to, like, you're basically just reducing the mobility of your enemy in an indirect manner. That's essentially it. And I think that's part of the reason why spears are so good. They're also just really good because they do very well against everything, right? Like, if they manage to get on top of archers, they will kill archers. It's only if you're kiting the spears that they will actually be effective against them. I mean, they're still effective against them, but, you know, ideally, you want to avoid it. And now we see Elite Sofa going up against these spears. Keep in mind, these spears, he's going full spears. He's actually doing crackety here, crackety here. I cannot believe you crackety here right now. He's literally going full spears. What is this build order? This Mongol 5 TC build order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town centers into full spears in the castle age. This is something else. This is something else. Hey, they said this was never going to work. Once again, I don't know who they is. It's one of those. It's one of those elusive Donald Trump quotes. They said I'd never be able to do it, and I did it. Who said it, Donald? They did. Oh, Crackety. Crackety is the Donald Trump of Age of Empires 4, except he can't build walls. I mean, yeah, all right, I'll stop. All right, we got poison arrows coming through right now. Crackety, look at oh my lord, look at the military numbers right now. Crackety just spiking up so hard. Jeez, and he's just going absolutely ham. It's just massing spears. And this is the part where it gets so difficult because you can go into archers, but you're going to be kiting these spears non-stop. This is the problem that you've got. The spears together with the YAM network, if you do eventually extend it out here, you're just going to be able to chase down all enemy units. Now you got a problem. You're down 50 vils. Sure, the Khan's dead. Who needs the Khan when you've got this many spears, though? That's the question. And the spears just overwhelming the map right now. The main way that you're going to be countering this is through archers. I guess the alternative is also walls, potentially. But even then, they've got pretty decent siege. And all your cavalry is just going to be useless. And you can see that right now, he's trying to switch over to archers, but he's just having so much trouble with it. He's got 6 archers in queue, but that's going to be barely anything when you compare it to the spearman numbers. And now the men-at-arms are going to be coming out, looking to flood the field. We see the men-at-arms making their way across the map. I like the way that they run. They got their chests out. They're like, ugh, we're going to intimidate them with our giga-chadness. I tell you what, right now, this is looking like an increasingly difficult game for Salami. I believed in Crackety from the very beginning. I'll have you all know. I never doubted the man. Crackety, if you're watching this, don't listen to that guy. Don't listen to that guy you heard before. What is this game, though? In all seriousness, what is this game? How is this even possible? Where did it go wrong for Salami? I mean, it never looked like it was going... Was it just the fact that he didn't make rams? Would have rams been the difference here? Because it would have given him a bit more DPS and at least forced the town centers to move. And now we start seeing veterancy coming through on the horsemen, anticipating the big switch into archers. You can see that the elite Sofa, or rather the elite scouts on the front, are going to be trying to set up a little bit of a barrier here, but the men-at-arms going to be able to eat that up as well. And now you got real trouble because Crackety is just focusing all of his units towards this frontal position. But still, hold on. The number's still looking pretty good. If Salami can get to a decent mass, he'll be okay. The problem is he's not making any archers at this point. His wood income's very low. I'm not sure what's going on with his village account or with regard to his income, but there doesn't seem to be an increasing number of archers. It just seems to be kind of stagnant. And that's probably not the best thing, but we do see now there is a reduced number of spears that are out here. Now going to be falling back. The units continue to rally through. Crackety up to 127 villagers at this point. Still 50 vils ahead from his enemy. Keep in mind, Salami only ever played 1 TC. Never went into a second TC. Just look for these auxiliary, I guess you'd call it auxiliary, ancillary forms of economy. Going into the big cow landmark. And now we've got more units coming in from the bottom side. And this is where it starts to feel like good game. Because you're getting thrown under the bus from all different corners of the map. You're trying to move Vils out on the gold mines. These guys are surely going to get intercepted. And now underneath your base, you've got units running in. As soon as your eco gets disrupted, that's where it gets really hard in this position, because you've done a good job holding on. Oh my lord, look at all the houses. You've done a decent job holding on this long. Oh, my villagers! Oh, the spears getting great connections there. Men-at-Arms going to be able to chase them away. Horsemen in the wood line as well. Let's see if these Vils actually manage to get this up, and it looks like they will, so not going to get intercepted just yet, but now looking to siege down all that production. And it definitely feels like the game has shifted. I mean, look at the numbers here. 68 versus 6, 11 times, more than 11 times the number of units. Salami is scratching his head thinking, what the hell did I just play against? That, I mean, hey, they said it was never going to work. And now here Crackety is making it work as Salami taps out and Crackety is victorious. Fellas, if you're watching this on wherever you're watching this in the world, go check out Crackety. Go check out Salami. These guys are incredible. Crackety, I'm excited to see what else you bring to the table. Fellas, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.